Hey, good morning. So I want to do a quick live on how to start getting more visible on social media, as I've been doing a whole series of 15-minute coaching calls for those who signed up for my brand new membership. That was one of the bonuses they got. And it's interesting how in just that 15 minutes, the amount of, with several different people I've already spoken to, how common this problem is about how to get more visible and what that actually means and what that might entail. So I just wanted to run through some of the problems that I'm encountering with people, some of their hesitancies, some of their fears, some of their worries, and also then the steps that you can take on a practical level to get more visible, where I would start, what I would start thinking about, and also then the mindset piece, because my work's not just about business, it's about the mindset, because you've got to get yourself in the right space to get more visible. So the more visible you are for your business, the more clients are going to know about you, the more people are going to understand what you do and be able to communicate that to the people around them as well. So it's not just about your ideal client knowing who you are, it's everyone that you're in contact with understanding what you do, having a really simple way of communicating that to other people. So imagine you're at a dinner party, if people go to dinner parties anymore, or you're at a coffee morning or whatever, you want those whoever's watched you on social media to be able to easily convey to somebody else who has that problem that you solve, to say this is the person you need to speak to. So the visibility piece is really about getting yourself out there and being seen and being heard and people understanding what you do so that you are remembered. In fact, that's one of my taglines: be seen, be heard, be remembered. My work is predominantly about that piece. But if you're going to be seen, you've got to be comfortable with it. You've got to understand why you're doing it and you've got to be okay with it. So the benefits of being seen is that you are going to bring more clients to you through referrals, through recommendations. You're going to be in the fore of people's mind when a particular problem arises for them or the people around them. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you tell people this is what you do once and then everyone rushes to buy from you and to work with you. This is something you need to be consistent at for a long period of time to start getting results. And it's that consistency piece that really makes a difference. So when you're thinking about getting more visible, one of the things that really interests me when I go and look at people's social media profiles when they're coming for one of these 15-minute calls with me, I'll look at their profiles and I'm blown away at how little there is about them and how little there really is about what their business does. There might be some really, very generic memes. There might be some quotes. There might be some blog posts that they've shared that they're interested in that relate to what they do. But they're not actually relevant to that individual in that individual business. Now, the interesting thing is we do have this understanding that people buy people. And I think it's even more so with social media. So what you want to do, the first place you want to start in terms of getting your business more visible is to be sharing a bit about you, but always in relation to what your business does. One of the main things I get my clients to do is start their attraction marketing tools. This is kind of what we're talking about. People are going to be attracted to you because of what you do and what you offer, but because they resonate with you. Is to write out their life story in relationship to their business. What were the steps that led them to where they are now? What journeys have they been on? What life experiences have they had? What challenges, what pitfalls, what vulnerabilities are there in what they do now? Because once you've got a clear understanding of the journey that you took to get to where you are, what made you decide to do it? What made you qualify in it? What made you twist? What made you pivot? What parts of your background have led you to what you're doing now? This is interesting stuff and people buy into this. People are fascinated by this. Once you've got that whole overview of your life story as to why you are doing what you do, you can start to take tiny little snippets of that and put it into your social media. So interestingly, in terms of social media, the posts that get the most engagement are first and foremost live video, like I'm doing now if you're watching on Facebook page. Second of all is then video that is then uploaded. So this video, if you're watching me on LinkedIn, this is one I've done somewhere else first, but then it's loaded natively into LinkedIn rather than through a system like Buffer or Hootsuite. It's done natively in LinkedIn's platform. After that, it is photos of people's faces. Okay, now that's Maybe you're not quite in the place where you want to take selfies and feel that you're putting yourself out there in that way. But if you want engagement on your posts and you want people to see your posts, pictures of your face are going to do really well. The next thing after that is images of people, real people somewhere, even if it's not a close-up on the face. After that, it is stock images of people, before stock images, it is real life things that are happening to your real life, even if you're not present in the photograph. Then after that, it is stock images of people. Then it is posts on their own with no photograph. So when you look at the amount of engagement that you want to get visible, it's clear that you actually have to put yourself on your business. You have to have that, build your own brand as what you do alongside what you're doing and be the face of your business, no matter how uncomfortable that might seem, because that is how you're going to get more clients. So start with your story. Start with how you're doing what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And then look at that piece I've talked about before about the ideal client. So how can you take your story and gel it with what your ideal client wants and weave that fabric into all of your social media posts, making sure that your face or yourself or something personal about you is being seen and shared. You want to make your social media personalised. Now that is not to mean that you come on and you tell everyone, you know, you've had a barney with your kids this morning or your husband's annoyed you or any of that. It's not about that. And you don't have to be super vulnerable in your posts. You don't have to share warts and all. That's not what it's about. But it's about having elements of your story that relate to your ideal customer. What is it? How can you tell that story? And getting more visible on social media is about showing up as you, elements of you, snippets of you that connect with your ideal client. So for some people, it's deeply uncomfortable to put yourself out there, to do video or to put photographs of yourself. You might be concerned that people are going to judge you, that they're going to think you're full of yourself. Might potentially be afraid that there's going to be some kickback from that. Now, first of all, I would say, you need to work on your mindset around this. I used to be super uncomfortable about being on camera, about having personal photographs of me. It was fine if it was a professional shoot, that felt somehow removed. But through NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, I completely changed how I felt about that. So number one is go and talk to someone like myself, an NLP practitioner, who can help you with how you feel about being visible. There's often something lying behind that comes from somewhere in your past. It doesn't really matter even what the thing was, but to know that you can change that and you can transform that. The second thing is just to get used to taking photographs of yourself. Get accustomed to it. Go when you're out doing something interesting or when you've got your makeup on and you're looking nice, make sure you get a few selfies that you can put in the bank that you can use later on. The third thing is to remember that actually a lot of your posts won't be seen by the people who like, comment, and engage with your and all your friends on social media or your connections. On Facebook, the reach is limited to between 3 to 10%. And actually, if you don't want certain people, maybe it's your family, maybe there's your parents or your sister-in-law or something, you don't want them to see particular posts, you can stop them seeing it, particularly on Facebook. So my advice would be, 1, get over it, talk to someone about it. 3, play around with it and understand that it is your story and you that is going to draw people in. So I hope that has really helped. It's been a game changer for me in my business, and I am fascinated by the amount of people who are not present in their own businesses as they're doing social media. They don't understand how to use these tools, and attraction marketing is absolutely key. So if you're watching on replay, I'd love to know what you think. If you are putting yourself out there, if you're scared about getting visible, and if you are putting yourself out there more, what results are you getting?